What is up? We are back, baby. Yeah, I gotta put more emotion into my facial expressions because I realize I squint a lot when I get really excited, and it's probably really boring to see if you are watching this. And the 5 people who did watch the last video watched it on YouTube. So thank you all. This new episode. What's going on, people? That's still multiple people. So my monologue for today is I'm getting to the end of my time in Colombia, and I'm teaching, young kids. And my question is, how much hand holding do you do in their classes? Because they're supposed to learn. And the question is, how do you learn a language for the first time? And this is reading or writing. They're very good talkers, much better than I am at Spanish. That is 100% certain. But they're 5. They can't, well, most of them. There's one kid in class that's a really, really good speller. And by that, I mean she spells the words right. But the rest of them can't spell the words right. Now, some are able to. There's different levels, right? Some can spell it if you sound it out very slowly. Like the best speller, you tell her the word. I think the hardest word they were spelling was orquídea, which means orchids. And I got some orchids on my tattoo. My new tattoo is orchids for Colombia. Got a new tattoo. It's posted on Instagram, I think. Not a whole post, but posted in my story. And these kids, some are one kid able to spell orquídea from orchidea, and I can't even do that. I mean, they got some QUIED bullshit going on, and that was very difficult. I mean, I guess for them to spell orchid in English, why the fuck do you have a CH sound? That makes no sense. At least, like, I go to 5th grade classes and I understand perfectly what they're saying. They're spelling want, but they have no idea to use a W. So they spell it GUANT. And I think that's good enough. I mean, you tell them it's a W, but I understand what they're saying. So, yeah, so she's able to do that. But then some are able to, you sound out like orchidea. And some are able to spell it off for that. And then some need to go letter by letter or syllable by syllable. And they have a hard time with syllables. They are definitely improving at their syllables, but there still needs to be some improvement for a lot of the kids. My question is, at what point do you stop hand holding them? I don't know. Do I spell the word for them in the end? Because I think the kids want them to get it right, but it doesn't help them if I just write the word. And it's fairly obvious too. I know maybe that's the answer. Am I supposed to say O-R so they have practice writing it down? Or O-erde, I guess. And they'd have practice writing the specific letters. Maybe that's it. Do you go by syllables? Or ki-di-a? Now, I'm not the greatest pronouncing with syllables because I speak with a very American accent, I think. I don't know how my Spanish sounds. It's very fluid, but very different. And it gets me wondering, about how did I learn English? And I think, speaking is just from watching. I think kids are wildly smart. I mean, when you're young, I'm pretty sure you collect the things you get. I'm not positive on this, but I mean, kids are able to walk somehow, teach themselves to walk just by watching other people do it, teach themselves to speak by hearing other people speak. I mean, there's no other way. I don't think parents sit down with kids to, practice words. Maybe they do. Maybe it's possible. I mean, maybe they just reach a point where they need to do that. I have no fucking clue. I mean, I'm not going to have kids for 10 years, but I guess maybe I'll be interested then. I mean, I'm interested in how these kids are learning. They're learning in the way that they learn by syllables, or they learn to have words and the things, and they just write them down and make like caterpillars and stuff. Is that what I did? I mean, I don't remember much about how I learned to read or write. I know I always loved reading as a kid. I think I was pretty good at it. I have no fucking clue. What makes you a good reader? Can read difficult books, difficult words. I mean, I think that the method for choosing who's a good reader is, but you can read. If you're good enough at doing that, if you can understand what's written in front of you, then yeah, shit, it doesn't matter how difficult it is. Everybody's at a different stage. I mean, I saw the thing about in Florida how like 28% of third graders in the private school district passed the reading test. I don't know anything about the kids except they failed that and it was a privatized school. But I mean, somebody's going to use that for some shit. Politics. Fuck politics. Election just happened here. And they're going to a runoff. Yeah, that happened. And, everybody was saying it's going to be crazy. And maybe it will be in the future. In the next one, the big one's the runoff. Because the guy who's the favorite of most people that I know didn't get enough to win the vote. And so depends where the other votes go to. And they said there's going to be like violence and shit. And I haven't seen any of that. So maybe there is. People seem very civil here. No one ever told me that before coming. Obviously it wasn't going to be a bunch of savages, but people, I don't fucking know. I love Colombia. So definitely more than exceeded my expectations. That is for certain. So yeah, how much do I hold the hands of the kids? Do I spell it for them? Do I give them the answer? Do I hide the answer? There was one time they were spelling the words and I was at the computer. They have a projector. It's a really fancy school, really bougie school. And I would type it into the search bar and it's small because I watch a lot of Taskmaster and sometimes they have the answer in plain sight and no one's able to find it. And I think if the kids can find the answer in plain sight, they deserve to get it right. I think there should be two chances. There should be I know how to spell this and I'm able to cheat. I mean, it comes back to me thinking about the Naruto exams where they measure how good you are at cheating. So it's basically it. And then Naruto being an idiot, but still get the one right. But yeah, so it's difficult. I think the best way to do it for me, from what I come, is to try to hold them through it, but I can't bring myself to give them the answer. I mean, maybe I can go letter by letter if it's that difficult. And the kids have a lot of patience, surprisingly. But eventually I just give up and tell them to go see the main teacher, Daisy. So maybe I should do a little more in the regards of helping them out. Yeah. But I got 3 weeks left and I'm excited to spend time with the kids. That is for sure. So yeah, that's learning Spanish and holding kids' hands over the finish line. I'm still not entirely sure what to do about that, but I guess they are going to improve. I mean, they're still really young and they're all doing a good job and they've all improved dramatically from where they started. So maybe I'm not concerned about anything. Maybe I don't have to. Maybe I just have to have faith in the kids. And I do. And the kids are going to do great things. I think they're really smart. And whether a 5-year-old can read and write, maybe shouldn't make too much of a difference. I mean, they should learn. I don't know. Education is difficult. Education is a very difficult topic. And there's a lot of people who, I always think the people who make those decisions are smarter, but they're more educated sometimes on those processes and sometimes they're not. But I think that, yeah, the teachers should decide. I think the teachers are smart. Maybe my opinion I don't really have many opinions on this. I think the teachers are smart and can decide who's doing well, who needs improvement and how to help in those ways. So maybe it's just have faith in the teachers. And I do like that. And the kids. It's a combination of the two. It's great. So that's that. And, going into having faith in other people, you also have to have faith in yourself. Okay. And one thing you could do to help learn about this is please subscribe to the podcast. Leave a comment. That'd be nice of some things. And we're going to talk about affirmations today. So leave something that you want to write an affirmation for yourself, whether you want to share what your affirmation is in the comments or not. That would be awesome. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at DMDYDU on TikTok and at DMDYPod on Instagram. So yeah, affirmations. I don't do many affirmations. I mean, I came to this topic more for contradictions is what I do. But then I also thought about how affirming yourself is also beneficial along with just contradicting the negative. And that's kind of what affirmations are. They're not exactly that. They're more positive messages. They're not just contradicting your negative thoughts. And I think it's powerful to think on the other side. I think that contradictions are always available. So I'm going to start there. Start with contradictions. Contradictions are always available. Any time that I think about something that I don't do well, I can come up with at least one scenario in my life, my entire life, that just proves that not true. And you might think, or sometimes I think that that's just one time. That's one time. That's not more. It's like, how can being one time contradict this feeling that I have about myself? Like, let's take an example. And I want you to come up with an example as well of something that you feel you struggle with. I feel like I struggle with making connections with people, deep connections. Ooh, I wonder if you can hear that fart on the recording. I feel like, with making deep connections with people. And you know what I realize is that's not true, or that I'm not good at talking to people. And the reality is, when I think about it, I actually am very good at that. I mean, I talk to you guys the entire time, and I think it's fairly interesting. I have friends who I talk every day with who do well, and they weren't people I knew at some point. I talk to random people. I get along with a lot of people at school, yet somehow I'm worried that I'm still unable to communicate. And I'm not sure where it comes from. Okay. All these thoughts, they generate from somewhere. And part of what I do in co-counseling, which is this thing I do, and maybe I'll do an episode on that, is I try to think about how these messages come up and where they stem from. And they usually stem from somewhere when you're young, because these ideas, if you think about it, and I want you to take the example that you came up with, and think of when the first time you started thinking that was. And I don't know when the first time I thought it was difficult. I think maybe high school. Because, I mean, when you're really young, when these ideas start to form, you're not, at least I wasn't self-aware enough to think, maybe I'm not good at that. Or maybe these are difficult. Like at that time when I was in elementary school, I think it's peak when I thought that myself, or looking back, I think that. And I think that somehow, someone doesn't want to hang out with you. Someone doesn't want to play ball. Like that image reflects onto yourself, that thought. I mean, when I think about it, it reflects onto me and it stays with me. And even though I'm not young enough to think, I'm not mature enough, or I'm not able to think about it in that way then, now looking back, I'm definitely able to say, wow, that might have been where that started. So maybe think about the first time you really think that happened. And then you think about all the other times when that's just not true. I mean, this past weekend, I had a great time with two friends in a village in a town outside of Bogota, Villa de Leyva. It was really nice. And these are people I feel really close with here. And when I think about how I'm unable to make connections with people, I think about great times I've had with people, with my friends in the past. And those are all people I didn't know at some point. So think about either one example, or maybe if one example is too easy, come up with two examples, 3. But if you can find one, just something that says, no, that is not fucking true. Stop lying to myself. I am going to stop lying to myself, and I'm going to keep saying that I am good at connecting. And I think that's where contradictions are important, to remind myself that all these thoughts are not true. I mean, I was doing some research on negative thoughts, and negative thoughts come up. I mean, I don't remember much of the research. I got to write more of it down. But for me, they come up. I don't know if they come up for you, but those negative thoughts seem to be more frequent. It's not often when I think, wow, I am really, really good at connecting with people. I don't appreciate how good I am at things sometimes. But man, can I think of the times when I did something bad or I regret something. I mean, my friend was concerned of something she did over the weekend, and she spent this entire time saying, what should I do about this? Right? What should I do about this? Well, how can I go about this? And it just played and played and played on her mind. And when she finally did something, it didn't make much of a difference. I know the clarity gained is definitely beneficial, right? The clarity gained is beneficial, but it turns out a lot of these thoughts have forgot the word, but they come from somewhere. They're like unwarranted. Like when you actually get to the bottom of it, it didn't really matter. Like it was not a big deal, yet somehow the mind thinks that it's such a big thing. And so when I contradict it, it makes me feel like, no, reclaim it. Yes, this is me. I can do this. I don't need to, validate myself in the eyes of the other. I get validation from other people that I'm okay. And I'm not saying my friends doing that. I think that it is important to gain clarity for yourself. I think that if you think you're going to feel better by doing it, definitely do the thing. Because if it helps you stop thinking about it, if it helps you move on, like not everything works the same way for everybody. Me saying, no, that's not true, I'm a good person, Maybe that works for me. Maybe that doesn't work for you. And so it's all about finding new techniques or new things. So yeah. And how do I feel after? I feel good. I feel good after I conquer. I feel better. I feel that I can do things. I mean, it's about gaining confidence in myself. That is for certain. And then what I'm telling myself is pretty true. I mean, you can't contradict something with something that's false. But you're telling me there's not one time, one example of something in your entire life that contradicts what you're saying? Maybe there's 10 examples. I don't care about the examples that affirm it. Like, I don't care if it outnumbers it 10-1. Like, I don't care if there was times when I was awful at connecting. No, if I was able to connect with one person, that is something I can build off of. That is something I can say, no, I've done this. I can do this again. And I can keep working harder to, keep getting it. And I feel better when I think of myself positively. So, yeah. And I think that's contradictions. And, it's not great having these thoughts, but these thoughts occur. And I need to keep reminding myself. And maybe you want to try too, that no, this is not true. This is just a negative thought. These thoughts just come up, but they're not true. Something is triggering this. And then reclaim it. Yeah. I mean, my thinking is that everybody is a good person. Everybody's born good. So I have to remind myself as well that I am good as well. It is hard to remind me that I'm good sometimes because I expect good out of others, but I do expect myself to be good, but I hold myself to a higher standard. I don't remind myself when I'm good. I remind other people when they're good. I'm like, that was great. Good job. But it's hard. To just notice I am doing well. I am doing extremely well. So what's affirmations? Affirmations, I'm starting to do daily affirmations, and I think it is good. It is a good thing to do to remind yourself how powerful you are. I mean, that's similar to contradictions, the way you're reminding yourself. You are saying about how you are. Now, your affirmations definitely have to be believable, but it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. No. What am I saying? Your affirmations have to be believable. If you don't believe in your affirmations, it's not going to help you. You have to do something that is tangible or something that you know about yourself. Yeah, affirmations are something that you're hoping to be or something that you are, but you're not able to see as easily. I feel like for me, I have to remind myself. So I came up with some affirmations and, how do you write affirmations? I don't know. I Googled this shit. There's tons of articles of people who probably have done more research than me, but affirmations are just, putting a positive light. I mean, you just say, these are what I want, and this is how I do it. Or how do I want to affirm, let's say the connection thing, right? I want to affirm that I'm good at connections. And so I can say, I am a person making powerful, positive connections. And I am, just to remind myself, just say, yes, this is happening. And I do that every single day. Yet I don't take the time to reflect on that. And I think that's where the affirmation comes in. I think, starting your day reminding yourself how you are is going to be beneficial to showing everybody else who you are. Because if I don't know who I am, how the fuck am I going to tell you? Not tell you, but show you. Because I think actions speak a lot louder than words. I don't need to tell someone that I care about them. I want to show them. Like, I was talking with my friend about how I don't text a lot. I'm not very interested in texting. I don't enjoy it. But if someone was to call me and tell me something, I am there 100%. I'd rather that be the case. Just because you text someone more doesn't mean you're closer to them or something. It's about showing that you're there, not saying that you're there, because that's what text messages are. It's just saying things. No actions back that up. You can neglect on a text. I mean, I've done that before, unfortunately, but you can just cancel plans, and it's very difficult. Okay, so how do I want to affirm? But yeah, so that's my first one. And another one is, my soul radiates from the inside and warms the soul of others. And that's about connecting. It's about just being open and honest, because that's a lot of what I strive to do. Be open and honest with everybody, and showing myself fully to other people is going to help them show me, I think. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Everybody's different. Maybe me being more open, me being, very friendly is off-putting, like from the outset. Some people think some people are over friendly and it's a little weird. That's fine. I mean, I got a letter from camp last year saying, A kid said, I didn't want to like you. I did not, but you showed me that was just stupid. And I think if you work hard enough, not work hard enough, but just show them this is truly who you are, then it doesn't make a difference, because people will have their opinions on you. Who gives a shit? But the only way you can change their actual opinion of you is by actually being yourself. If you're someone else, then it's not going to feel good. I don't feel good when I'm around people who I can't be myself. So it's kind of diluted from affirmations, but I think they're good, and it doesn't work for everybody. You know, I think that, I'm trying to do some research. I'm talking with my mom. I mean, if you need to, it's not like to stop depression. There's not something, if you need to see a psychiatrist, that is totally healthy. It's not like a substitute for any medicines or anything like that. I'm going to talk with my mom. She's a doctor, about that type of thing, because I think it is important to also see that side. Doing self-care work or mental health work is not a substitute for seeing a psychiatrist, or if you're depressed or depression. I don't know a lot about that. So I'm going to talk with her and get her opinion as a doctor. She's fantastic. We're going to do a whole episode hopefully soon. Yeah, I think that's good. But affirmations, I'm going to try to do them daily. Okay. Every morning I have my affirmation list written down. You can either write your own, and they're just going to be positive thoughts about yourself that are believable. I am, and you want them to be kind of active. Or you can just Google them. There are tons of lists, and see what resonates with you. And changing affirmations, from what I read, you just do it until it doesn't feel like it's being helpful. And if you try it, I'm going to say the goal is to do a week's worth of affirmations. Let's do a week's worth of affirmations, guys. Okay. And if it's not working for you, you don't like it, stop. Just be like, fuck this, this ain't working. And that's okay. I think giving stuff a shot and seeing what's happening is very, very important. I mean, that is the goal. And I'm going to do it as well. And I think I enjoy this. So thank you all for listening. Please like, subscribe, share the podcast, DMDY on YouTube. Let's go. Share with everybody. If you could share with one person, finding one thing about yourself that contradicts it, share this podcast with one person. That would be amazing. Incredible. Follow me on Instagram at DMDYpod. Follow me on TikTok at DMDYDU. I'm going to be trying to post content. I'm going to try to make one post on Instagram a day, and one post, no, not a day, every other day. So we're going to try to do one day Instagram post, one day TikTok post. And we're going to try to keep to that. That's my own goal for this week. Weekends get kind of difficult, but I'm going to try to set it up so that can happen. And yeah, thanks for listening. Have a truly fantastic week. And let me know about how it went with your affirmations. Drop it in the comments. And if you want to drop one of your affirmations, something that you strive to do, something that you strive to be, drop it in the comments. Thank you so much for listening. Have a fantastic week.